The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions, and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
You feel that? Ah, shit.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Hump Day.
Hump Day!
What day is it?
Hump Day!
It's Hump Day. You are listening to and watching Sports Insider. My name is Glenn Spillman. To my left is Pasquale Sprague. We're coming at you live on Armed Radio out of Boston, Massachusetts. So I want to say hello to all the Bostonites out there.
Boston, how you doing?
What's up, everybody? And I want to say what's up to, got Next Profit in the house, Luca Bone, Big Bang 458. All you Boston people that are listening that you think I have Tourette's right now, I really don't. We've got a few cameras in front of us, and people are watching all over the world. And they join. We got Canada. We've got people that are joining in, and I like to give them a shout-out and what's up. And so when they come into the show, I welcome them to the show because I'm a nice guy like that.
Yeah, you are a nice guy.
Yes, I am. I certainly try. And we've got Connor from Connecticut just joined. What's up, Connor? Drooling on you on that's the name. It's her birthday or his, so happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
For Loco, welcome back to the show. I want to give a couple shout-outs. Number one, I want to give a shout-out because it's Happy International Women's Day. So that's, Happy Women's Day. Happy International Women's Day. A woman asked me today. She goes,
I mean, come on.
She's like, a lot of women are in the workforce, and what would you guys do without women in the workforce? I say, well, just hire more dudes. That's all I freaking said. I'm like,
and it's one of those things. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah.
Talk about something like that because no way, shape, or form are we saying it in a negative manner. But I mean, it's like if you don't hire him, you get a lawsuit. If you hire him and you don't pay enough, you get a lawsuit. If you congratulate them, you get a lawsuit. So we're just
or a sexual lawsuit.
Happy International Day.
Hey, but you know what? Happy International Day. Let's all meet up later and have a big wrestling party. How's that?
Woo!
And you know what? I always like to give shout-outs to especially new businesses around. These people are trying to get going and Guillermo says I could use a woman next to me right now. Yeah. Can't we all? So, hey, for those of you around the Fair Oaks area, right on the corner, by the corner of Sunset and Fair Oaks Boulevard, there's a new market, Fair Oaks Market. Go show them some love. It's always hard to start a business anyway.
But it's a good location.
It's
right on the corner.
It's a decent location.
They have a nice little setup in there. I've been in there.
Yeah, they do. They got some really cool stuff. I go get some.
What was cool is
all the time.
I spent $5 and I got a free item out of the basket, so I got some cash.
Oh, nice.
So that was pretty nice.
Yeah, did you get a free condom for International Women's Day?
They didn't have magnums that day.
Yeah? All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, let's get started, shall we?
Yes.
All right. Now, I want to give real quick, for those of you listening and watching, why don't you go download the TuneIn app, and you can listen to our show every Wednesday and Friday live. Go to TuneIn, go to Armed Radio, and it's a blonde girl with nice big red lipstick on. That's their logo. So download the app. They got other shows on there that you guys and gals could listen to, so go check that out. And you could also go to our website, sportsinsideronline.com, and you could follow our Facebook page, Twitter, and then go follow freaking Armed Radio 01, Joe Sabino on Twitter. So the Next Prophet says, want to see your sidekick on PGA Tour in 2018. They're talking about you, brother.
I hope. I mean, I'm a realist at the same time. I'm doing everything I can to make that happen.
All right.
And I'm playing in tournaments actively, so we'll see. I'm going to get this guy to go out and caddy for me on the upcoming one over here at Ansel Hoffman. So we'll see.
So yeah, man. I mean, don't say you're a realist. I mean,
No, I'm a
look at
realist.
Albert Morales. He just fought in the UFC, and he's like, "Remember the story I told you."
I've never said I'm not going to not try to make it, but hey, I still am striding towards that goal, and that's the ultimate.
All right. Hey, you know what? There's big news in Big D.
Here's the quote for the day, then.
Well, okay, what?
Dreams are goals with due dates.
With due dates or without due dates?
With due dates, meaning you got to do something to reach that goal. It always has a due date. Never have a due date, then you'll never accomplish a goal.
I've had speaking of International Women's Day, I've had several women with due dates. So with my dream. So, is that bad to say?
No.
Am I going to get slapped on the wrist from my boss? Oh, yeah, wait a minute. I am my own boss. Okay, yeah, never mind. The next prophet said Marshall signed with the Giants.
Yes, he did.
So let's see what. I got a comment here that just popped up. Said, I thought Tim Bam Bam Stell made a comment, but I don't see it. All right, anyway, Tony Romo is going to be released within the next 24 hours. He's going to be hasta mañana in Dallas, Texas. And literally right before the show, I wrote an article, and it's titled, Bye-Bye, Romo. And
bye-bye, Romo.
And it's going to be up on our website here in just a few. There's Steve Martinez. We got Papa Dan Funk. Welcome to the show. So Romo's gone. Peace out. Got 14 million cap space rolling out. Now let me say something to you guys. Connor is over here on Facebook. On here now instead of live.me. That's where you should be, Connor. The next prophet says Romo to Broncos.
Well,
and
Romo's looking at, obviously, places that he can win now. Not going to send Romo to a place that is going to get beat up.
Never
Like
land.
the Cleveland Browns or somebody like that. He's not at the stage of his career where he's looking to revive and rebuild something at his age at 36. It's not going to happen. So the best places for him, obviously, Texans, and Denver.
Guillermo says Romo lives in Texas, so I would say Texans.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
that's the best fit.
Okay, Guillermo. All right, peep this, brother. You've got a player there, Robinson Cano. He used to live in New York, and he came all the way across the United States of America
3,000 miles
to play for the Seattle Mariners. So just because you live somewhere doesn't mean you're going to stay there.
Nope. Especially in sports world, you move all the time. But I mean,
Connor says Romo to Houston? ?
Yep, that's the best fit. Because Brock Weissizer sucks.
Screw it.
That guy sucks.
Who, Texans or Romo?
No, the Brock Weissizer, the guy that plays for Texas.
Oh, Brock Osweiler.
He sucks, man. That guy, he's 6'8".
Yeah, he should come to San Francisco. He sucks so much.
Well, speaking of San Francisco,
Big Bang 450 says Texans already have the defense #1 receiver and running back.
Mm-hmm.
Next prophet still says Broncos. Guillermo says, well, Brandon Marshall went with the Giants because he already lives in New York. Brother, that's not the freaking reason why he went there.
He went there.
If you did that logic, then nobody would ever go anywhere outside of their state.
Exactly.
You know?
And speaking of San Francisco, did you see that they signed Brian Hoyer as their quarterback to replace Kaepernick? I don't see how that's a very good.
All right, let me say something about the San Francisco 40 Whiners.
Yeah.
Smokey Hobbit, welcome. First day on Periscope. Thank you for tuning in. Guy Spring 2, welcome to the show. The freaking 49ers are not smart. They go out there and what do? They rush to get a head coach.
Yep.
They rush to get a quarterback. They rush. And what happens? They lose. Well,
ever since I got into Jim Harbaugh.
Hey, you know what? Jim Harbaugh, I will say this. Big Bang says, Marshall came to New York because Coughlin left. Hoyer is backup, next prophet says. Well, here's the thing. Jim Harbaugh, I didn't like him too much. I didn't like his coaching style. He's a loser. What happened when he went to Michigan?
Well, you can't say he's a loser. That's not a fair statement.
Did.
Yeah, but because of why? Because he never won a Super Bowl?
I'm about to tell you.
Okay, well then the likeness, because
he's a loser.
He's made it to the big game. He went to a Division I school.
Oh, wow.
I
can make it. Well, okay, let's talk about the Bills. They made it to the big game 4 times, and guess what? They lost.
So Jim Kelly's a loser?
Lost.
Thurman Thomas, Jim Kelly's a loser?
If you go to the game...
Are they losers? Because that's based upon what your premise is stating, that's why they're losers. And so Jim Harbaugh's a loser because of that. Well, you got to say...
Jim Harbaugh's a loser because of his attitude, because he's a narcissist, because he's an egomaniac. He gets to the big game, and he chokes, and he loses. So by that definition alone, he's a loser when it comes to the big game. Kind of like Tony Romo. Tony Romo gets to, and he chokes. If you look at the picture... And it'll say, how do you spell Romo, or say Romo in sign language? And it's got a picture of James T. Kirk on the Enterprise choking. And Big Bang 450 says he's a loser. I agree. What I'm saying is, if I would have got to finish my statement completely, he is a loser because he gets to the big games and he loses.
Exactly. I agree with this. Jim Harbaugh has built a winning franchise in the last 3 places he's coached.
Yes, winning.
Did
they win the Super Bowl?
No.
Did they win the bowl game they were in?
In Stanford?
No, Michigan.
Nope, they lost. Stanford won.
Stanford, he should have stayed there.
Hey.
He had Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck was great, but Andrew Luck...
Let's consider this analogy. Come on. Sports, there's always going to be a winner, and there's always going to be a loser.
Yes, we
if
are,
we're
Ryan.
talking about somebody in a sport, whether it's baseball, football, whatever the case may be, they're achieving that up-end level as far as success. You can't say that they're a loser just because they didn't win. They might have a losing record when it comes to the big game, but that doesn't mean he was the one that strapped on the gear and caused them to lose.
No, but who's the one that gets fired?
Hey, he's Jim Harbaugh. Keep doing what you're doing, bud. I like it.
He likes you, Jim, because he's a Michigan fan. I say, and I'll say it to your face, the way you dress. Okay, I probably shouldn't get in the way the guy dresses. If he wants to wear Dockers and everything, it's fine. No, you're a loser because...
And he's not cocky. He's confident. It's a big difference.
Okay, he's cocky.
He's confident.
He's a jerk. And he loses the big game. When you get... It's like Tony Romo. We could say he's a loser because he loses the big games. He loses when it counts. I don't care, and people do not care. Now, Michigan, they're not going to keep him if he gets and he keeps going so far. Michigan if you can't win the bowl game, you dominate all year, and you can't even win a bowl game. Michigan's not going to. Like Next Prophet says, I like Harbaugh's brother. So do I.
He's a good coach.
And Jacob Pendergraft, welcome to the show. Guillermo says, name me a great coach that isn't a jerk besides Tony Dungy.
See, even Tony Dungy's a joke.
Besides Tony Dungy, that's not a jerk. Well, Barry Switzer.
Okay. Wonder why.
No, I'm just saying that. Bob Stoops. There's another one.
Jack Del Rio.
Mike Krzyzewski.
They're all. Hey, when you're a coach, you got to have somewhat of cockiness. You got to have somewhat of confidence. You have to walk around like your shit don't stink in order to be able to be a head coach of a football team, dealing with all those high-dollar personalities, plain and simple. That's like saying a guy that goes into a fight doesn't. He's not going to go and say, "Oh, I hope I win."
Next Prophet says Red Auerbach.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm talking about no, not a jerk to his players, a jerk in general.
Okay, a jerk in general. Well, media
off the freaking field.
Media. Well, do you know him?
I've met him a half a dozen times.
And have you guys hung out on the weekend and had a barbecue and stuff?
Not necessarily, but I've had
so then
beer
that's not
with
a fair statement to say that he necessarily is a dick or a jerk because of the fact that he doesn't entertain half the stuff that people want to throw at him. I mean, that's just my opinion.
Well, and I also don't like people that give evading vague answers, as I wrote in my article about Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones knew he was going to get rid of Romo.
Mm-hmm.
About the third week when he saw Dak, he was like, oh, wait a minute, I've got something here.
Mm-hmm.
So he was biding his time, waiting to see if anyone would come and take a bite out of Romo. Nobody did. So, same thing with the Bills. They kept Tyrod Taylor because they didn't want anybody else to get him. They necessarily didn't want him, but they signed him to a one-year deal. And here's their quote. We are excited about the opportunity to keep Tyrod with the Bills. I've gotten a chance to know Tyrod and study him over the past several weeks, and he is both a great person and a competitor. Doug and I are confident this is the best move for the Bills at this time. Now,
Nowhere does that ever say that he's your quarterback.
You know me. I have said 1,000 times that I'm a word person. I look into what people say. The crux of this whole statement is at this time.
Yeah.
So what they mean is, well, at this time we don't have any other options, so dadgummit, we're going to keep him.
Nor do we want to pay for anybody else. So you're the guy, but doesn't mean for long. Is what.
Star Child, welcome to the show. Her name is Tootsie.
Hi, Tootsie.
Tootsie. Happy freaking International Women's Day.
Do the Tootsie Roll.
Golf Charlie,
that a boy.
So, okay, real quick, Redskins GM no longer a part of decision-making. You don't get to say crap.
Yeah.
But then they need to get rid of him. They don't know what they're going to do with him yet, but they do need to get rid of him.
Sure, why not? If he's not making any decisions, then
why are you there? Well,
you need to sit around and not make a decision.
Why is Jason Garrett with the Cowboys? He doesn't make any freaking...
He's the head coach.
No, he's not. He has the title of head coach. He is not the head coach. Jerry Jones is the head coach. Okay. Jerry Jones calls down the plays and says, listen, little puppet, you're going to do what Daddy says, or later tonight I'm going to spank you.
He gives recommendations before the game starts, but when the game is going on, he doesn't call down and question what he's doing as far as that.
Oh, yes, he does, my friend.
Not to the extent that everybody thinks.
Well, I happen to know he does, and I'll tell you why I know, because I know a lot.
Well, I'll disagree to agree.
No, you mean agree to disagree.
No, disagree to agree.
Well, when I've got people that I've went to school with that have played for Dallas, that have now go to Dallas games, and they tell me stories about Mr. Jones and about what happens, what goes on, I tend to believe them.
Okay, that's a credible source.
So yeah, I'm not saying it just because it's my opinion. It's because I've been told that's what he does. So, all right, now.
So then Jerry Jones lost that game, not Jason Garrett or anybody else. It was Jerry Jones' fault why they lost and they go to the Super Bowl.
No, it was actually Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott, I'm going to write an article about him later in the week.
You're off the hook, Dak. You're off the hook, Jason.
Dak Prescott choked. But, okay, someone asked, what age is too old to do steroids? Never too old to do steroids.
I do steroids, those little blue pills.
Better watch what you say, because someone could use this video against you if you get on the PGA Tour. They're going to come back.
It's called Viagra.
He's on freaking
It's called
steroids.
Viagra. The little blue pills.
All right, Bill Belichick.
I work out my main muscle.
Bill Belichick was at Alabama's Pro Day today.
Yeah, he's scouting.
Yes, because he does. After the game, he says, I'm out. I'm going to go do some scouting now. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you, man, Bill Belichick
he's man. He's awesome.
And I'll say this every freaking show, and I'm not brown nose, because everybody knows that I'm not a Patriots fan, per se. I respect the heck. Now, I will say this. Bill Belichick, from what I've heard from many, many people, and nothing that I've said, says he's a jerk, this, that. A lot of people in the media have told me about him. I respect the heck out of him. You know why?
Yeah, why?
Because he gets the freaking job done.
Exactly. And the reason
wait, Big Bang 450, Joe Mixon to the Lions. I'm going to make a note on that because I got a lot to say about that.
And just real quick to touch on the Patriots, as far as that, I mean, look at the different things that they've gone through throughout the years, whether the Deflategate, whether the fact that they were videotaping the Steelers that one year, as far as before the big game in the playoffs. They're always trying to do something to put the Patriots down, and it never works. They always continue to strive.
Yes, we are.
And you know what? You call them cheaters.
Big Bang
and that doesn't matter. If you ain't cheating, you ain't winning, and you ain't trying.
I don't know about ain't trying.
Yeah, you ain't trying. They did. Bill Belichick, I would love for him to come to the Raiders. He's a great coach.
That'll be a cold day in hell.
Yeah, exactly. It ain't happening, but hey, I would love it. He knows how to win. He's a winner. And speaking of, I mean, he got rid of Martellus Bennett, their other tight end, and they picked up Dwayne Allen now for the Patriots. Came over from the Colts.
Someone said, Guillermo says, can't cheat for over a decade. Mike, welcome to the show, brother. Been a while. Wait, real quick about the Patriots. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Big Bang says Tom Brady's record is tainted.
Painted.
Don't think so. I don't freaking think he cares.
Yeah.
I sure wouldn't care. I had 5 rings. I said you could chain it, asterisk it, underline it, freaking.
Yeah.
No, we are not talking UFC. We will be talking UFC in about just a couple minutes. But I want to say this about the Patriots. Yes, you can ask any dadgum question you want. Yes, you can. Oh, and that's one thing, folks. Throughout the show, if we're talking about a subject and you want to ask a question, as long as it has to do with sports, freaking ask it.
Ask it.
And we will answer it, I promise you.
Even if it's underwater basket weaving. This guy was a major at it at school.
Yeah, it's my minor, actually. I double major. So, you know what, though? When I was in the military, because, you know, when you go through, you can go, and then you go back to school, and then you can come out as an officer. And we were like, well, what degree do you recommend, you know, to come back, to go to officers training and all that? And they go, dude, you could seriously get a degree in basket weaving. We don't freaking care. We just want you to have that 4-year degree. I'm dead serious.
Yeah, makes
So
sense.
I looked it up. Basket weaving. Got it.
Because you never know when you're out in the jungle, you might need to weave a basket.
No, that's really true, though. That's really true. Bowie, whatever is... So, anyway, I want to give cred to the New England Patriots, and I'll say this. I may not like them that much, but they've won the Super Bowl. The past 3 times they won the most everybody that wins the Super Bowl, they'll jack the prices up.
Yep.
And the Patriots, the last 3 times, have not jacked the prices up. And I love me some Robert Kraft. I love him. And not in that way, but, a little bit.
Well,
I really like the guy. You know why? Because he wants the average fan to be able to come to a game.
He doesn't want to make it to where the middle class can't afford to go to the games, and even the lower class. He wants it for everybody to enjoy the organization of the Patriots.
And that's what I like about the Patriots.
That's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing.
Mike says, I hate the Pats, but not Tom Brady. Well, I don't like it when Tom Brady wears Uggs. But
the boots with the fur, the whole club was looking at her.
And I brought it up last night, and I'll bring it up tonight because we're out of the Orange Radio out of Boston, Massachusetts. Everybody, this is Glenn Spillman, Pasquale, Sprague, Sports Insider, and I think that Tom Brady is endorsing a lot of stuff, and I'm not downing him at all for doing that. It's money. If you get paid for it, not a problem. Do it. But I won't go too much into it because I said about it last night. But he's endorsing a new meal program. I'm not going to mention the company, but I think that these meals, 6 of them are like $78. $78.
So it's like $13 a meal.
That's freaking crazy. This place, they don't even, they put the ingredients in a nice little bag, they send you those ingredients, and you have to cook it. Now, it's nothing that is kind of pre-made, maybe flash frozen, and you cook it yourself. It's like you got to do all the work, and you're paying someone just to do some ingredients for you.
So boss can be like, it's eggplant. You freaking mooly, go eat some eggplant.
You know what mooly means?
Yeah.
Okay. It's weird, but I don't think that I wouldn't freaking do it. I mean, I love to eat healthy, but there's no way I'm going to pay that's like sending, you to go grocery shopping for me. I'll give you an exorbitant amount of money to do it. You bring it home, just give me, here's some ingredients, you cook it. No, I don't like that.
And,
so now,
and none of it has meat. It's all plants.
Yeah, screw that.
I'd pocket the money, go outside and pick you some flowers and some grass and be like,
it'd be like, hey, it's all organic,
That's
man.
what they wanted. It's naturally grown, dude.
Yeah, speaking naturally grown, why don't the UFC let freaking Nate and Nick smoke all the weed they want? Speaking of naturally grown, but that's a show for another day. All right, now we're going to get into boxing and MMA, people. I know we've got a lot of boxing and MMA fans on here, and a lot of people, Luca Bone, hey, Luca, I got your message on, I got your email, and Luca has he signed up for our fantasy leagues, Look on that. See if he really did. He signed up for our fantasy, and he's liked our fate and all that. So, because he's wanting those signed gloves. So I haven't forgot about you, Luca. Give it a go. Welcome to the show. Wow, that's a poet and didn't know it. So boxing. Every time I hear this name, Clarissa, I always hear, "Hello, Clarissa."
It puts the lotion on.
Yeah, it.
Or it gets the hose again.
So Clarissa Shields, 2-time Olympic gold medalist. She's going to be fighting Zavila Zabatos. Now, Clarissa's from Flint, Michigan, and she's going to be fighting in Detroit. And it's on Showtime, 10 p.m. Eastern at the MGM Grands Friday. So 2 days from now.
Don't forget, she's a 2-time gold Olympic medalist.
Okay, we're not going to forget that, but let's talk about this for a second.
She's fighting someone that's 15-8. I mean,
give it a go, says Chianti and Beans. Thank you very much, brother or sister. Changeman 1217, welcome. And so Shields, yes, she's an Olympic medalist. Got it. Boxing, Mike. We're talking boxing. Pay attention, or I'm going to punch you in the face. Boom! Shields is 1-0.
yes.
1-1.
Uno. Zero.
Now, Zabatos is 15-8 with 6 knockouts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now, honestly, and I'm not going off of records, because
Right.
if you were a betting person and you were looking at stuff and you're like, oh, this person's only 1-0, this person's 15-8, well, Clarissa went to the Olympics. To go to the Olympics, you have to jump through so many hoops, win so many events to even get there.
And have some type of amateur, background.
Then you have to fight in the Olympics. Then you have to fight in different rounds. And she is a 2-time gold medalist. Not silver, not bronze, gold.
Gold.
So, my friends,
Uno, dos.
I would put aside that 15-8 record, and I would go with the young blood underdog hometown hero, Clarissa.
Well, sure, I'll go with the two because she's an American, and I'm American, and I'm proud to be an American. That's my reason.
That's it?
Yeah, because,
Give it a go says, I can't think of anything other than Clarice. Well, I could put something in your mind, but this is a PG show, and I don't want our people in Boston to put a little red E next to our name when they archive our show.
Conor Manning.
Okay, all right, we'll get to that.
Mm-hmm.
Conor Manning, we will get to that just a minute. Oh, someone asked about Joe Mixon. Real quick. I think Joe Mixon could suck it. Now, I went to OU. Mixon went to OU. I understand him that way. But what he did was wrong. He hit a female, and he jacked her up. So I don't think Joe Mixon, if I was any team, I would pass him up just on principle.
X him out.
I mean,
X him out.
Forget about it. I mean, I'm sorry, Joe. You made OU look bad, and I can't stand by you.
No go, Joe. No go.
No go, bro. No CFL, no XFL, no any FL. So, bye-bye. See you later. I'm picking Clarice. I'm going to call her Clarice, even though her name is Clarissa. But Clarice, I'm going for you. Yep. And then if you win, I'm going to send you a nice Chianti and a can of fava beans. So, yes. So, Randy.
Randy Jackson?
No, Randy Caballero. And he's fighting Jesus. No, Jesus, actually.
Oh.
He's fighting Jesus Ruiz, debut.
So you just stand there like this?
The debut card, Golden Boy Boxing on ESPN Deportes.
Yes.
March 23rd.
Well, Randy is an up-and-coming fighter.
Yeah.
He's 23-0. He has, 15 knockouts, and he's fighting against Jesus, who's 35-7. So it's young blood versus old blood. Golden Boy Productions. I'm going to take little Randy Caballero. I think he's going to win. Caballero. Did I say it right? Caballero.
14 knockouts. That's a lot.
Yeah, with the 23 wins. So but this is bantamweight. There's going to be a lot of punches thrown, and that's the thing about it. A lot of punches. It's like the guys are only 5'4", 5'3",
Sort of my daughter.
Yeah, it's like watching midgets.
Yeah, midgets.
Midget fighting's cool. I like midgets.
Yeah. They should lather up with guacamole, wear sombreros.
You know, I think it'd be interesting to date a midget.
Oh, dear God. Vivian, May 1982, welcome to the show. It's Rent, welcome to the show. Again, ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Sports Insider. My name is Glenn Spillman. To my left is Pasquale Sprague. And go to sportsinsideronline.com. And you can like our Facebook page, follow us on Twitter, follow Orange Radio. We are on Orange Radio out of Boston, Massachusetts right this second.
Boston!
So we love all of our Bostonites. So now, we got a Paul, and this is a long name, Malignani, if I said that right. He retires.
He's now a boxing analyst. He does a lot of commentating outside the ring.
19 years.
He was a good fighter.
19 years.
Very good fighter.
So, hey, man, happy retirement, and I will send you a nice Chianti and a can of fava beans. And
Two
happy
thumbs
retirement. So, Amir Khan.
Yes.
Now, someone was talking about Amir Khan, asking about the Pacquiao. Right now, they say that the fight is dead. Guys running things for Pacquiao says it's dead. Now, there's some things going on. And Levi Jones, welcome to the show. There's some things going on within the next couple of days and get it going. Now, Amir Khan still thinks he could fight Pacquiao. He's still, meaning that he still thinks the fight could happen.
Yes. And quite honestly, I think if it does happen, Pacquiao better be prepared because Khan throws big punches. He is a little bit bigger than Pacquiao. I don't know. I think Khan has a shot because he's younger, and Manny's kind of towards the end of his career. It'd be a good fight. I would definitely want to watch it. I definitely would want to watch it, but I'm going to say Khan is going to win that one if it does ever happen.
Well, judging by and Levi, I did see your question. I will answer it. But judging by, Pacquiao's lame excuse about, my hurt shoulder with the
I think Khan
Mayweather fight.
Yeah, and Pacquiao, he needs to put his purse on the side of the ring and get in there and make it happen. Don't sign a deal and then back out of a deal. That's not right.
You know what they call that? Call that Indian giving.
And go figure.
I could say that because I'm Native American.
Hey,
so
how are you?
I could stab you for that. Manny hasn't got a knockout power in him anymore.
Nope.
Would you fight him? I would.
I would.
I would eat him for lunch, though.
I'd put my hand out on his forehead so he's like punching and he can't swing me.
Yeah. So, Amir Khan, I would take that bet. You know why? Because anyone that fights Manny Pacquiao is going to be an underdog. Mm-hmm. So Amir might be +2, +250, maybe even up to +400. I would put $500 on that and win, $2,000. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, $2,000. So that would be a good bet.
Steve Joseph Martinez, thanks for joining.
They shared the video.
Yes, thank you.
Donka. It's drip. Wow, you might want to get that checked out.
Go to the doctor.
Welcome to the show.
You might need some help.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Dead Man Sing, welcome. Levi says, Wonder Boy got robbed. Round 5 was not a 10-8. Let's talk about that for a second. Wonder Boy, a lot of people thought got robbed. Now, I know I was watching, we were watching the fight with a guy that's really good friends with his dad. And, but here's the thing. Let me first off tell you that if you are the current champion, you hold the belt, and it goes to a decision, pretty much 9 times out of 10, the decision's going to go the champ's way.
You didn't do anything that made it to where you beat the champ.
Now, here's the thing. Woodley got a knockdown.
Yep.
Woodley got a takedown.
Yep.
And Woodley, at the last 30 or so seconds, beat him down pretty good. Now, if Thompson would have got a takedown, just one,
especially at the last round, right before it was over,
he would have won that fight. But I put money on Woodley. I knew he was going to win. And I put money on it. So the people I was with put money on it. I won because I knew it would probably go to a decision. Probably. I was 80% sure. But anything can happen in a fight. And I knew that if it went to a decision, he was going to get it, no matter what they saw.
Yep.
So did he get robbed? Possibly.
Do you want to see a rematch? No.
Dead Man Singh says if another round, Woodley would have got a TKO. Dead Man Singh said no. Levi says, but he really didn't win. He cries racism helped. Well, when you are of color, that's pretty much all you can do.
It's always
cry racism because that's all you got.
Well, they do start affirmative action.
If Woodley wanted to really freaking win, he would have knocked him out.
Yeah.
But what did he do round one? He danced. What did he... I'll get there living in a marathon. Hold on. What did he do round two? He danced. Round three, he danced. There was more boos. Boos, boos, boos. Loud boos the whole fight. Woodley did just enough to put on a show. And Zuby said Mayweather is TBE. He never, I think, cried racism. Well, I'm not saying everybody does. I'm just saying, if something doesn't go your way.
So we could say that the Woodley fight, Thompson fight, was kind of like the movie Dirty Dancing.
You know what? And I will say this.
Nobody puts baby in it.
I will say this, though. And some people, let's see, I have to give 3 rounds to Wonder Boy. The race thing, like I'm Native American. I call up to a clinic. They find out I'm Native American. They will put me in before they put anybody else in.
Oh, that's bullshit. I'm calling.
I mean that, and I'll use that to my
action.
advantage.
Where is it?
I use that to my advantage everywhere I go, dude. I swear to God, I do, and I will continue to do that.
And
you
got to start a casino.
Huh?
You got to start a casino.
I would, man. Yes, we watch NHL.
Yes,
I played hockey for a while. Levi said 5 wasn't 10-8. Watch it again. R. Blake, welcome to the show. I'm not going to say the last part of the name, but now here's the thing, though. As a fan, you could call the fight however you want. Well, that wasn't 10-8. Well, that wasn't 10-8. We would have to sit there and go click by click in a group full of people going, okay, why do you think that isn't a 10-8? Or why do you?
Well, it's all based on a scoring system, people. Don't forget.
It is.
There's a scoring system. There's a little camera above the thing that takes pictures and counts how many times this guy hit this guy, kicked, whatnot, and that's how there's scoring system. And obviously he won on the scoring system.
And there's also a guy at the clicker.
Yes.
A secondary. Levi said, as a fan, Dana White called it for Wonder Boy. Joe Rogan called it for Wonder Boy. Now, I will say this. When Dana White was talking to Wonder Boy afterwards, and I told the guys I was with, I said, you know what he's saying? He's saying, hey, bro, I'm sorry. You had this. I know you had this. You got robbed. Go back and look at it and read his lips.
Yeah, because he's looking for a new poster child.
I'm just saying. So, on that note, what do you, and I'm asking you, and I'm asking everybody that's watching and listening, what do you think of the show The Ultimate Fighter?
Overplayed. Same-o. It's getting boring. It was cool the first couple seasons. Now it's to the point of, okay, hey, Ultimate Fighter. But then if you notice, the ratings have gone completely down. I don't watch it anymore.
You know why?
I lost interest. Yeah, exactly. I lost interest.
You know why they went down? Mike says, sorry, shitty connection on my end. I'll be back. The new season got me hyped, though. Let me tell you something. They put too many shows back to back to back to back.
Yeah.
If there should be a season, they should really only have it one time a year.
Yes.
Because it's drama. And I'm sure they tell the guys, hey, our rating's dropping. You need to give it a little bit more drama. That's why I think they brought Rousey on the female. I think that it is getting overplayed. I think that it's getting to a point to where, I mean, dude, Dana White gives out more money on a rowboat contest, $10,000 to the team, than he did freaking...
I agree. I want to see Triple G as well. I really like Triple G. That's for the boxing world. But, his next big fight is...
Oh, let me ask you guys this. How many of you have Fight Pass? UFC Fight Pass? Curious to know.
I have a friend that has it. I watch it with him.
I got it. So, all right. So, on that with Dana White, Luke Bone says he does. What can Dana White do to resurrect the UFC?
Step down. Get rid of Reebok. Allow individuals and their own marketing to come in and bring more money. Bring other
time out.
Mm-hmm.
Let me argue this one point with you.
Okay.
No, don't get rid of Reebok, and I'll tell you why. Because the NFL has Nike, and they have Under Armour, and they have Reebok. No, what you do is you take that money with Reebok, keep 80% of it, and you shuffle out a little bit to the fighters. So you keep Reebok for the money, but you let the fighters get their own in that aspect too. They don't have to wear Reebok. They got maybe a little Signia, but on anything else, everyone else. So keep Reebok, but still let the fighters get their own sponsors.
Well, then what they got to do is just have UFC clothing and gear like they do, and then they allow Reebok to pay.
Mike, let me ask you that, Mike.
I mean, come on.
Did you seriously just ask us that? Is GSP coming back?
You didn't hear, bud?
Brother,
he's fighting Bisping.
Where have you been? You got to be living under a rock, and obviously you're not watching the freaking show. Yes, he's back. He's going to be fighting Bisping. But go ahead. I just wanted to argue that one point.
Well, and then, to that point, I think that's where UFC should have it their own gear, their own clothing, their own stuff that they have that people wear, and then you allow sponsors like Harley, Monster, Reebok, the ones that are the big ones in it, put a logo on those shorts, but yet you also give the fighter, like you said the other night, the option to get their sponsors on it, but yet they pay some of that percentage to the UFC for allowing them to wear that. And that way it's just the UFC's not missing out on any money. Because UFC was starting to lose money on endorsements because they weren't endorsing the UFC, they were endorsing a fighter. So I said a simple solution is get a henna tattoo across your back. It'll wash off after a couple weeks, and then promote whoever you want to promote. How's that against the rules? I would technically look into that.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. But I think what Dana White needs to do is he needs to A, check himself and quit being a narcissist. B, he's greedy. He needs to spread the wealth.
Yep.
So what he needs to do is don't give Ronda Rousey a $3 million show-up fee. You made $300 million at least on every UFC fight. So get a pool. I think everybody should get a show-up fee. And say, okay, you guys, you showed up, so just for the sake of math, $10,000 each. Everyone gets $10,000. Here you go, $10,000. If you win, you get this. If you win, you get that. If you do
knockout of the night,
yeah, here's a bonus. I think though, if you win, he can afford to pay these people $100,000 for winning.
Sure,
$200,000 for winning.
Well, some of them make more than that per fight.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying for the sake of math.
Oh, okay.
Because out of $300 million, you could take, 10 of that million. Hey, Dead Man, thanks for tuning in. We're on 5 days a week, 6 o'clock Pacific time, and every Wednesday and Friday, we're on Armed Radio out of Boston, so come and check us out. So, Luca Bone says, sounds like items in a collective agreement. No. Yes. Hey, Dead Man, real quick. Go to SportsInsiderOnline.com. or just go to Facebook, Sports Insider Online, message me, and tell me what you want me to talk about next show, and I'll talk about it. I think that there needs to be a better pay structure. Let's just say that.
Yes.
Let's just say that. So, what do you think about Nate Diaz? He's turning down every fight that is being brought to him. No. He just wants to fight Conor McGregor. He turns down every fight. What do you think about that?
He needs to be careful about doing that. Here's why. Remember, you're still under contract with UFC. So you're supposed to be fighting when those fights come up if they want you to. And you have that opportunity to accept or not accept on certain things. But to continuously turn down every single fight when you're not the big fish in that pond for Conor and for the UFC at this moment, even though it'll make great money, he could get in legality trouble, and that's what we don't want. Go beat somebody big, because he's very good. Go beat a big name and start calling out Conor again and get that fight. I think that's what should happen. But be careful with turning down every fight.
Jacob Pendergraft on Dana White said, don't give title shots to undeserving fighters.
Exactly.
He has so much talent but doesn't know what to do with them. No, you don't fight just the money fight, because here's the thing. Like under contract, because Dana could be like, you know what? It's called due diligence. You have to do protocol. So Dana White can go up to him and go, hey, you've turned down 6 fights. You're a breach of contract, so I'm going to fine you $100,000.
Mm-hmm.
Dana White could do that.
Yes, he can.
Here's a little secret. The cops have to follow protocol. Say they come knock on your door, they got a warrant for you. They have to announce that they're there. So what they do is they come up to the door, they barely tap it with their finger, and they whisper, and then they kick your door in. Just a little nugget of information. But yeah, Dana White is sitting back and he's writing all this down. And Laptop Doc says, I think the Diaz brothers don't care if they a clause in their contract where they can refuse fights.
Yes, and they can refuse fights, but
you can't refuse every single one of them.
That's the issue.
Because I guarantee you, Dana White also has a clause.
Yes.
So, but there's a difference, Diaz being Diaz, I get that. But there's a difference between being mad because you're not treated right or whatever, and then there's a different, if you wanted to speak, Diaz, you go in there and you just annihilate everybody that you fight. And then you tell Dana, what's up? Bring me Conor again, what's up? You fight. Do you want to win the battle and lose the war, or do you want to lose the battle and win the war? Because right now, he's winning the battle, but he's going to lose the war.
Mm-hmm.
So Nate says, the Diaz brothers make the UFC entertaining to watch.
Yes, they do.
Jacob says, not MMA related, but when you get a chance, Celtics are facing the Warriors tonight. What are your predictions? I got Celtics by 4. We will get to that. So, Road Glider says, be like Cerrone and fight all comers.
Yep.
Every fight they turn down extends the contract. Big Brown talked about it.
It does.
So, what I would do is I would just you fight everybody. Okay? You want to bring me this guy? Fine, I'll fight him. You want to bring me this guy? Fine, I'll fight him. Because after a while...
that's what made the UFC. That's what people liked about the UFC. It was always the best fighting the best. So you can't have one of the best turning down these fights. It's just not going to be good. It's not going to be good.
Well, you've got, and for those MMA, or not MMA, the NBA fans, you've got the Sacramento Queens in Texas, San Antonio to be exact. They're beating the Spurs 60-48, and Pendergraft asked to talk about a little bit about the Celtics. Celtics the Warriors tonight.
7:30 Pacific. So
Pendergraft says he's got them by 4. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
The Warriors have been struggling. I'll give you that.
But they're tough at home.
But
they're very tough at home.
Hey, Josh 3030, thank you very much, brother. Josh asked if we watched the WWE. Yeah, we watched the WWE.
Okay.
Sure do. But okay, let's a little bit UFC 211 coming. You got Henry. How do you say that name?
Cujo or
Cejudo? Yeah, it looks like
Cejudo.
Cujo. He's fighting Sergio Pettis May 13th. What do you think about that one?
Well, Sergio Pettis' brother is Anthony Pettis. We're all familiar with who he is. I think Sergio is a better fighter than Anthony because he's more well-rounded. Anthony has that, explosiveness that makes you want to watch. But I think that Sergio...
No, Levi, we're not skipping it. We're just talking about it.
It's something to watch, and I think that's just a good matchup. It's going to be a good fight, and I'm going to take Sergio on that fight.
Now, on that note, my next question to all of you watching, do you think that the UFC has too many pay-per-view events back to back to back? It's almost like every month you've got UFC 210, 11, 12, 13.
Sometimes 2 a month. I think they do. Because it's one of those things where, you know what? Put the big event that's on pay-per-view maybe once a month.
No, I'm saying, Lee, I'm saying they're doing too much.
Yes.
They're doing too much.
Give a dog a bone.
There's nothing wrong with UFC Fight Night and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They have these big pay-per-views.
Don't give us a weak fight card on Fox Sports 1 that's free to everybody. Give us a good fight card once in a while for free. That's all we're saying.
Yeah, I think, again, because Dana knows that people are going to do the pay-per-view. He knows it. It's money hungry. But you cannot, and I'm not saying every fight card has to be an extravaganza, but it can't be something that's going to bore people.
Like UFC Boro 09, that was horrible.
Yeah. And so now let's go. We're going to have to get to these two next show. Let's go. What are your thoughts on decisions after a fight? So, like the Woodley-Thompson, you go to a decision.
Do like the Ultimate Fighter. Make them go one more round. I mean, come on, these guys...
It is a championship fight.
If on championship fights, if it's that close, or instead of having a draw, make themselves different by, okay, hey, we're going one more round. You'll get a lot of people going crazy. It'd be fun.
So do you think, after that, they say, okay, we're going to give you guys 3 minutes to rest?
No.
No?
1 minute.
Well, no, you can't have 1 minute because then you got to have the score. You got to have the scoring. You got to add it up. So that's going to take a couple minutes right there. Then you got to announce we're going to sudden death
on a close fight. It's something like that where that could possibly be a scenario where they could be drawn or there's not a decisive winner. They will know that right away as that final round's coming up to the end. So therefore, it should okay, we can give 2 minutes. 2 minutes meaning the first minute to announce the fact that nobody entered the ring, that we are going to go to an extra ring. The second minute to announce what that score currently is. Therefore, the person that is losing, according to the scorecard, knows that they got to do more, and you do one more round and see who wants it more. That'll set you above and beyond some of the other sports. That'd be pretty cool.
All right. Well, I think that Levi says can't have the adrenaline dump for 2 minutes.
Yeah, I agree with him. That's why I say just 1 minute. They'll know as that final round's coming up. And only championship fights. Not every fight, just only championship fights, the 5-round ones. They're going to see it play out and what's going to start to happen, what's unfolding, what the score could possibly be. You know, the commentators say, oh, I give that a 10-9 round. Oh, I give that round 10-8 round. So you can do the math and see that it's going to be close. And if it's going to be close, then sure, boom. Already have that figured out. It don't take that long to figure out the score within 1 minute. Say, we're going one more round. Boom, go one more round. Then they know.
Well, yeah, but I think that... I think that sometimes on the decisions, and we've got a few more minutes here, and we could probably end the show with this particular question. What is the crooked meter within the UFC? When I say crooked, we're going to talk about that again. M. Sun says, I think the commission has a block on that. Some crappy rule.
Yeah, but money buys everything.
It sure does.
And they make enough money to where they can get a change in the rule because, remember, UFC was never supposed to allowed to be in a sport, and now it's a sport. Bare knuckle boxing was never going to be ever considered outside of the underground world.
Road Glider says, dude, you can't be leaving early for beers, damn it. Levi, who will they feed to Cyborg now with her PRT exemption? Well, it's an exemption. It's a technicality, and she knew it was going to be a technicality. She's on roids.
Yep. And
She's been proven to be on roids.
And they need to test to make sure she doesn't have a penis as well.
And I think that, who are they going to serve her? You know who I'd like to see serve? Who would you like to see serve?
Ronda Rousey, all over this.
No, I mean the Cyborg.
I don't know.
Home! That'd be cool, Holly Holm.
I was going to say, I was home because I like to see Home kick her in the face because I hate Cyborg. Maybe it'll make her jaw look better because she's got a man jaw.
But no, I mean, I think that'd be cool because Holly Holm, yeah, Cyborg is a beast, Levi.
In more than one way.
Steroids. Levi says they are all scared. No,
if you're a fighter, you're not scared.
Yeah. And then there's some fighters that Levi says you would be. Well, Levi, you must be like, I don't know, 5'8" and 130 pounds then if you're scared of her, him, whatever. But Cyborg, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think Dana White, he does. M-Son says, ouch. Maybe a super fight between her and Gabby Garcia, LOL. I think, I don't know what they're going to do with Cyborg. Levi Jones.
Yeah, I'd take Cyborg. Put her in a headlock.
CFO, LOL. Price, welcome to the show. Batman or Superman? Okay,
Superman.
Well, that's not a sport.
Superman.
Freddy Krueger. Yeah, Dana doesn't know which way is up right now. He doesn't know. It's like last night when I asked, when I said the UFC needs more stars because there's no relevant stars right now in the UFC. And I think that the UFC has taken a hit. It's taken a dip. Mm-hmm. And I think that Dana White, if he doesn't do something before the end of summer, I think he's going to lose a lot of viewership.
A lot of fans, that kind of
stuff. Lot of fans.
If Dana White was smart, he would start promoting some of these fights and letting people watch them for free and start going around to these other divisions and getting some young talent that's up and coming. Not 2-0, 4-0, 3-0. Get some guys that are with records that have good, strong backgrounds.
Yeah.
Free TV events is where the money's at, and you'll get a lot more viewers.
Real quick,
Boston is coming up.
Sorry to cut you off there, buddy, but we got about 30 seconds to get off the air in our Boston
thank you, Boston.
Radio station. So, hey, everyone in Boston, we thank you guys for listening. We appreciate you guys. We love you. Hey, go to our website, sportsinsideronline.com, and ask us questions that you want on Friday's show and things you want us to cover. So we love you guys. Peace out. Have a good week. We will see you Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Peace out.